It's showtime. I think we're ready to make a cocktail here at home. It's happy hour at home. Welcome to my kitchen in Southern California on a really warm day. Once those Santa Anas blow in, I'm telling you, it heats up again. Fire danger, people leaving animals in cars, all that horrible stuff, horrible stuff. So it's cool to have like summer in October, but it's also kind of dangerous. But here we go. I'm Corey, your hostess, who is a cocktail enthusiast, awake and alive at happy hour every day. So that's why we're going to make a cocktail here. And this one is called the Jack Rose. Its base is an apple brandy. Applejack is the name of Laird's Applejack. Laird's is the oldest licensed distillery still in operation today. It was the very first distillery in the country to get a license from the government, really creating a baseline standard for how brandy is made in this country. Where is Applejack from? Well, Applejack is from the Northeast, probably usually assumed to have been created in New Jersey, maybe New York, but probably New Jersey. The cocktail, anyway, the Jack Rose, but apple brandy and the distillery, Applejack, in New Jersey, where it has been for over 100 years. I mean, the family owned and operated. We love that. We don't have any Applejack. We already had some Cavaldo, so that's what we're going to use. A French apple brandy. What's the difference between like cognac and Applejack? Well, cognac, of course, or and it's a brandy, but it has a grape base, whereas something like Cavaldo or Applejack is usually either like pear or apple based. Applejack, as you might guess, is of course apple based, but so is our Cavaldo, and so that's what we're going to use. It is a French product of France, brandy, apple based. So that's what we're going to use. If you don't have time to make your own grenadine, yes, you can make your own, and it's super easy. I'll tell you how I did it in just a second. But roses is great. And of course, Master of Mixes makes a great one. I just bought this little 8-ounce uh, bottle, plastic bottle of 100% pomegranate juice from Palm. And the recipe I used, I quartered it basically, but the recipe calls for 16 ounces, so two of these, which is the normal size that you'll find Palm in. I was kind of happy to find this because it's quite tart and everything. But you just reduce down, over a low simmer. You don't want to bring it to a boil, but 16 ounces of this, of the palm juice, and then 2 cups of sugar and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So again, I split that in quarters and then I just reduced it down, let it cool, and then put it back in the palm bottle. So it makes a little bit more than half, with the sugar in there and whatnot. And then fresh squeezed lemon juice. That's it. 3 ingredient cocktail. First thing I'm going to do, I have my coupe here, chilling on ice. It's been in the fridge. I have room temperature citrus because I'm going to make a garnish. It calls for a twist. You can do either like a little spiral, a mini spiral. I've got the little special tool here to do that with if I want to try that, which I might on another cocktail. But for this one, I'm just gonna cut my twist off the garnish, and then I'm gonna cut it. I'll show you how I cut it here in a second because I'm gonna actually attach it to the glass. Just need to create a little sliver in the middle. So I've just cut that. I'm just gonna cut the ends off, make it look nice and neat. There's a little more pith on this than I'd like, but what are you gonna do? I'm gonna cut a slice in the middle so that I can attach it to the glass. But then while it's kind of warm, or room temperature, I'm just gonna twist it around my chopstick here and hold on to that so it'll take its shape. Got ice already in my shaker. I'm gonna put the Cavaldo, the apple brandy, in first. That calls for 1.5 ounces, friends. And I've got this here, this handy dandy thing my sister just gave me. Oh, but what do you know? It's in, we might have to just go with the flow because this is actually in like milliliters and ounces. Alexa, how many ounces are in one? Oh, no, it is an ounce. Never mind. Okay. Never mind. Okay, I just can't read even with glasses on, apparently. Okay, so there's an ounce and a half of my Cavaldo. I'm gonna put that in the shaker. I am gonna put the lemon juice in next, and that calls for just 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. And again, it gets its color. This is just so crazy to me, the Applejack. I mean, this is what, honest to God, our ancestors drank if they lived in the Northeast. Otherwise, it might have been moonshine. But this Applejack goes back to the late 1600s, which is crazy to me to think of our colonial ancestors. I guess they would have had what, like probably, I don't know, wine or whatever, but this is one of the oldest um, distilled spirits in this country. And since it's apple picking season in the fall in California, yes, California, Julian, shout out to Julian, Eastern Washington, where I grew up, and obviously the Northeast too. And George Washington hacked down an apple tree. See, history, or no, that was cherry tree, wasn't it? Was it cherry? I don't know, whatever. History. Okay, let me get this stuff out of the way so I don't, per usual, break things down. Okay. Ooh, I think I have to, yeah, I have to screw this on. Ooh, my sister gave me this shaker. It's excellent. It has the measuring cups right in there. And it's not going to freeze my hands off, but I can't. I'm right-handed, but you'd never know it. Okay, there we go. Everything's on tight, so it's not going to come flying off. Okay, I love it. I've never tried one of these, but I'm excited. It was popular even through Prohibition. What do you know? But then, everybody else started making different kinds of brandy and different kind of cocktails came into fashion, and it kind of fell off the map, to be honest with you. Do I have to twist this off too? I'll get there. I'll get there, people. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. Okay, we're gonna pour out the ice in the coupe. It's been keeping it nice and cold. I'm gonna pour that in because we're gonna do this straight up. Oh yeah, it's really pretty, like cherry red or apple color. Doesn't want to come out though. I mean, I must have shook it up too much. It's not a very big cocktail. Let me think about that. I guess that would be like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 ounce cocktail. It's a petite cocktail. So we'll have to make a double next time. Okay, this has been nicely curled. I've got the little split in there. I'm feeling kind of proud about that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Feast your eyes and let's wet our whistle. Cheers to you and yours. Let's see how this goes. Oh, it is sweet. It is sweet. If you have somebody on your at your bar on your roster that likes a sweet drink, it is nice though. Mm, but I could finish that in 4 sips. Let's say some quick hellos. Greg had heard of this cocktail. Cheers to you, Greg. I'd never even heard of it until I stumbled upon it. Just kind of looking for a great fall cocktail, maybe something with apple or pear, a theme, don't you know? But it is delicious. This is like a nice little dessert drink, I'd say. Let's see. Hi, Leanne. How are you? Cheers to you and yours. So again, all you need to make it is like an apple brandy, Applejack probably preferred. It's supposed to be a little bit mellower than some other apple brandies. I'm using again a French apple brandy called Cavaldo. But you could even try it, I'm sure, with regular old grape brandy. You could try that. But I mean, this is what's making it super sweet, I think. So I might even like cut back a little bit on the palm on the grenadine, to make it a little more my style. But it's delicious. It really is. Mm-mm-mm. So again, ounce and a half of apple brandy, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, and then just a half an ounce of grenadine, and you're good to go. Look at that. My fancy garnish. Just, you know, how many cuts was that? Like one with the peeler, two to cut the sides off and the top and the bottom off to make it nice, and then one down the middle, and you can just hang it on the glass like that. I'm proud about that. All right, but again, always use room temp citrus to make your garnishes. Otherwise, it's going to break, you're going to crack, and day ruined. So, cheers to you and yours, and the Jack Rose. Cheers! I love this. This is great. I love trying new drinks, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Cheers. Be safe out there, and I will